George.
We on, Greg.
That gold chain is around here somewhere. I was trying to
We on,
find
Greg.
trying
I
to
got
find
my
mine.
gold chain. It's right. It's right over yonder.
Yeah, mine's over there too. I just didn't want to have to. Next time, gold chain. Next time.
Episode 77, or one of these numbers in here. Considering we did lose some audio at one point. I think it was episode 74.
It was 2 episodes, George.
Some technical difficulties. Coming at you. 7. I'm GMDubbya. We got Coffee McGregor. You might notice something a little different if you're tuning in via YouTube, because we got the videos now. We got the videos.
Listen,
Greg loves it.
I spent like 3.5 minutes trying to sort out what my good side was.
Did you get it?
It's the left. I don't know why. This has never crossed my mind a day in my life. It's the left side. There's something about the right side. I'll tell you what it is. The left side of my head is bigger. There's more of a cranial knot piece right here. And so
Yeah.
when I'm right, and then every now and then I do this, you might see this big old just blockhead. And then so I think this is the cleaner side of the bald spot on the beard. I think I'm good, George.
I like it.
I'll let the audience decide. Look, left or right.
I don't think it matters. The best
care.
part is when people do download and listen to the audio version, they're gonna be like, "What the hell is he talking about?"
Well, I mean, if you do download and listen to the audio version, check us out at YouTube on it's youtube.com/It's Just the Drip.
Damn right. Crazy week. I know, Greg, you always have shit going on. You do stuff nonstop.
That's a fact.
Going all over the city, doing all big city things.
You know, people try to catch up with me, but it's impossible. Not at the prowess and the speed at which I move at 47.
Oh.
Never been seen before.
Well, I don't think I'm going to be able to sell that I'm 28 years old anymore, considering to be able to see all this gray in the beard. Not that anybody was buying it to begin with. Went to my first Raider game last Sunday. I thought it was
what was that like?
Badass. You know what's crazy is that stadium is massive. It's like a really, really large stadium. And
it is a big stadium.
In my opinion, it was completely sold out.
You think so?
I think so. And I've heard that it holds like 65,000. It didn't look like there was a seat open anywhere in there. And they played the Chiefs. The sea of red in this stadium was incredible.
Damn.
And I'd always heard stories about Oakland Raiders. If you wore another jersey in that stadium, you might get into a fight. You might get beer poured on you. You might get whatever.
That was Oakland.
That would never fly here because half the stadium was wearing the visiting team's jersey.
Oh, jeez.
And in this case, looking around the stadium, I would almost say that the Raiders were outnumbered by the amount of Chiefs fans that were there.
Who won the game, by the way?
The Chiefs. The Raiders play like shit.
Like they beat that ass, won the game, or what?
You know what? I don't know. The Twitter sphere keeps saying that Carr's the reason, but they got a lot of shit going on. Let me tell you.
I thought
it ain't like they don't have a few distractions going on. little bit.
Man, I shouldn't have laughed. I just was laughing that you said a few distractions. I know we've been MIA for a couple of weeks on the podcast sphere, but a lot of crazy shit going on out here in Vegas with some of these guys.
You ain't lying. And for the Raider fans that don't live in Vegas, this started hitting like I hit Twitter first. And I'm reading, I'm doing, like I heard from, people, you live in towns, you hear stuff, you got a friend who does this or a friend who does that. You start getting these text messages at like 7:00 in the morning. Like, you're not going to believe it. So-and-so got in an accident. All fucked up. Nobody knew the details of how fast he was going or who he hit or what happened, but it was nuts.
And anyway, then when the details came out, we did know how fast he was going.
I honestly had no clue that I knew the vets were fast, but Was he doing?
It's the new joints like that. Yeah, it was a
buck 50, buck 60,
$1.56, I think they said before. And Impact was like a 130 something. I'm not sure.
Dude was cooking.
Listen, if you hit me and you're going faster than 7 miles an hour, it's all bad.
Both those hips gonna fall out.
Just dunzo.
So now, great game. Our game. I was shocked at the ability of operations for Allegiant Stadium to handle the sheer number of 65,000 people. It's incredible, and I was assuming really long lines for bathrooms, really long lines for drinks. It was incredible. It was really good. And believe it or not, I only had 2 drinks during the whole game.
I don't believe that.
I had plenty later, but only 2 during that game.
Don't you ever tell me believe it or not. I do not believe any of this.
Oh man.
We hit Allegiant Stadium a couple of weeks prior.
We did
for a college game, George.
We did. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we got to watch Utah State thrash UNLV. That's a lie. It was not a thrash. UNLV. That was actually the first game of the season. UNLV played well. To be honest with you. And they've actually been playing pretty well ever since. They've won, I think they beat Hawaii, and then they ended up losing to San Diego State last night. But I watched the UNLV-Wyoming game, well, parts of it that I could handle last night, and Utah State-Wyoming game last night. And Wyoming beat the crap out of us. They kicked us, stomped a mud hole in us. We lost 44-17.
Man.
I mean, and look, in the Mountain West, we were in our division of the Mountain West, we were the number 1 team, and Wyoming was like the 6th team, the last team in our division, and they basically turned around and said, "Nah, y'all ain't gonna hold that number 1 spot." I think San Diego State finna move up right now to the number 1 spot in the division now, or they might be in the other division. Either way, it's not good. But Utah State's played pretty well considering their situation this year. So
I'm a huge fan. I never miss a game. I never miss a single game of Utah State.
Not anymore. You don't miss a Utah State game.
No, huge fan.
Not anymore. Speaking of Utah, University of Utah stomped the hell out of Oregon last night. Just want to point that out.
Did they?
Yes.
You felt good about that?
Oregon. Well, no, I don't. I hate University of Utah, but Oregon was looking like they might be able to go into the college football playoffs, represent the Pac-12. But University of Utah basically put an end to that.
Well, cheers to putting ends to stuff in college football. I watched no football yesterday.
This is just the first down.
Yeah, I went to a buddy in the office. He actually graduated from UNLV, got his master's from Michigan.
He should have went to Utah State.
And he was telling me earlier in the week, he's like, "Hey, Michigan's playing UNLV basketball on Friday night." It was like 9:30 at night too. Like that's a late game.
Yeah, I'm in bed.
Right, but I'm like, when am I ever gonna? I'm never gonna go to Michigan to see a basketball game. So I'm like, yo, get tickets. It was fun. It was a lot of fun, and they would play the T-Mobile, not Thomas and Mack, which I felt like was like 100 times better. It was a fantastic.
I just realized T-Mobile, Thomas and Mack, they're both T&M.
They are. They are. But that's T-Mobile magic. Is a fun place to watch sports.
I have not been in T-Mobile yet.
It's good.
Oh,
it's good.
That's a lie. I think I went for no, I haven't been. I lied. Because where do the UFC fights at these days?
They'll go to T-Mobile.
Okay. I can't remember if I was in T-Mobile once or if I was just at the old MGM Grand Garden or whatever they used to fight at.
I think all the UFCs take place at T-Mobile now. If I'm guessing.
I can't remember. All right. Anyways,
moving on. Seen a new movie. I'm a big fan. I don't want to say that. I really like the movies with Daniel Craig. Ever since the Bond movies came out, when he was the first one, like remember World Series of Poker, Rounders had come out. So Poker was really big, and then Casino Royale dropped, and then he's got a new Bond, and he like hit it really well. There's actually a Netflix special that goes through like picking Daniel Craig as Bond and what people think about him being the Bond. And it was an awesome movie. Anyway, I watched the last one, No Time to Die. You know how much I fought not calling you and discussing this, because I feel like this movie was postponed several times because of the premise of the movie and what we all went through with shutdown and COVID shit. I'm gonna ask you.
I wouldn't answer my phone anyway, so it don't matter.
Good. What, in your opinion, what was the dumbest thing about the vaccine that, God, I don't even want to say that word because it'll get our video taken down. What's the dumbest thing about that shot that people would say they thought was in it?
Bleach?
No.
Microchips, nanochips.
What do you think the premise of the new James Bond movie is?
Nanochipping people.
No bullshit. No bullshit.
I bet you everybody that went to the Travis Scott concert got nanochipped.
Let me tell you. So I'm watching this movie. I turn it on. I have no idea what it's about. And all of a sudden they're breaking down like the villain, the catalyst, whatever. I don't know the movie lingo. And sure enough, I'm like, oh, no wonder this movie didn't come out. Can you imagine? Everybody would have been saying, oh, they're trying to James Bond us.
Nobody would have got back. Well, nobody would have been vaccinated.
No.
Like, nah.
No, 100%. So I thought that was
James Bond. You see a James Bond movie?
Hey, for
Told
real.
You.
So I thought that was funny as hell.
I was, oh man, I wish I could remember, but I was reading something the other day about, it was about some like 20 years ago or 40 years ago. Oh no, it was a podcast. My bad. It was a podcast I was watching. But the time frame was like 20 years ago, and there was a guy that used to be I don't know. He used to be on Wall Street, like managing hedge funds and all kinds of stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And so I actually, it wasn't 20 years ago. I think it was like 2007, 2008 when the economy was crashing and Bitcoin was actually kind of starting to show up. He was doing a podcast, or he was writing a blog. He was writing a financial, whatever type of blog. And he was talking about how, hey, crypto is the future, da 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 da. He said, and this reminded me of Donald Trump, he said that a lot of people that are his peers that he worked with and ex-clients and all these people on Wall Street told him later that they really didn't jump on his advice back then because he wasn't on TV. And so It's kind of showing you that break shift between TV and the internet, right? Like, so like we talk about YouTube all the time, right? Like that's what we watch the most.
Right.
12 years ago, probably not. So people, if the information isn't there to be consumed via the biggest medium at the time, then people aren't either going to navigate to it or trust it as much. Don't you remember, like, people would be like, oh, hey, that's that person from TV. Like, that was a big deal. Now nobody says that. People are like, oh, that's the old boy on Instagram. That's the old boy on YouTube.
No, I remember that.
I'm just saying, there's a trust to being on the largest media platform now. And so it got into my head about how, and I'm not saying it's to trash Donald Trump. I'll do that on another time. But it just reminded me how, you'd always read about how Donald Trump would, he would watch TV. He would watch the news cycles all the time. And that's fine in terms of consuming information. But I just say that because it makes me think about how, like, he was a very TV oriented person. It was always about TV and being on TV. And so these older people, old school people, it's TV. That's where you get the information that's real. It's on the TV.
Yeah.
It's not reading anything it's not going onto the blog and researching papers. It's what they say on TV is what is real.
I gotta agree with that 100%. Because
and it's just wild when you think about it that way.
But think about how much that dude was. We all knew about Donald Trump. You go back through movies. I was watching Die Hard 3, the one with Sam Jackson in it. Mm-hmm. And the one girl, she's in the police station, and she goes, "Who do you think I am, Donald Trump?" Like everybody knew Donald Trump was the rich dude. It was like he wasn't the richest dude in the world, but he was a rich dude, and he was on TV all the time
because he wanted that exposure. He wanted that exposure, and it makes me wonder about like his publicist at the time or his manager about getting him as many spots, as much attention as possible, because he's in rap videos, he's in movies, he's in TV, So, anyways, I just think that was an interesting thing when it kind of clicked in my head, and you mentioning the paralleling that movie with that subject matter, with what happened last year. It made me think about how people would start with, just because they see it on the big screen, then it starts to sink in as truthful.
I'm telling you.
I mean, wait till people see just the drip on the big screen. On YouTube.
Please.
It's the truth. Please.
Conspiracy theories all over the place. What is Arcane?
Oh my God, George. So here's the problem. You'll never watch it.
Probably not.
It's on Netflix. It's an animated series based on a video game called League of Legends, which I'd never played. It's not for me. But the series is one of the best animated series or movies or shows I've ever seen. Just last week, I was reading that it is the highest rated Netflix original of all time. It had like a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 97.6 on IMDb. So it is rating as the greatest Netflix series of all time. It's absolutely an amazing movie. It's a 9-part series. They just released the final 3 episodes yesterday on November 20th. And it's just unbelievable. The story, the character development, the animation, the fight scenes, the sequences, it's fantastic. And they kind of really push the limits in. Animation can give you what the movies can't. They can give you those camera angles. They can give you these lighting situations. So it's just a really awesome series. So if you're into animated, actually you don't even have to be into animated movies. If you're into good action flicks that actually have a decent story and not the regular tropey bullshit, check out Arcane on Netflix.
If you're 12 years old, check out Arcane on Netflix.
If you're 12 years old, watch whatever George watches.
Hey, I think I do have a 12-year-old sense of humor.
By the way, this has nothing to do with 12-year-olds. This ain't no 12-year-old cartoon. It's not dialed in for that audience.
But it's a cartoon.
It's a nice try. It's animated. Do you watch Marvel movies?
I do.
90% animated. Done.
Those are grown up. Wait.
Case closed.
Animated or CGI?
Those are animated, because if you watch a lot of those sequences, there is some full-on animated characters against animated backgrounds, especially some of those fight scenes.
No,
Spider-Man and then Thor when Thor is fighting Bucky and Captain America, the scene is fully animated in so many sequences.
They developed a pill so that the dude that played Thor could actually harness lightning.
Oh, it's the hydrochloroquine pill. That's what they're taking.
That's it. Okay. You're gonna get this. This is gonna get taken off.
That's what Post is for, baby. That's what Post is for.
I'm gonna have a beep signal all over the place. All right, Arcane, go watch it.
Listen, that's the beauty. We have to edit for YouTube, but you know what I'm saying? Just like ODB, we keep that podcast raw.
No. I set it up this way so there is no editing. Y'all want
the raw podcast?
It's
raw.
Raw.
Visit our Patreon.
It's raw. This is rubbers, no raw.
Visit our Patreon.
Raw, no rubbers.
Hold on, I gotta put a rubber on this coffee.
Hey, is Arcane anime?
No way. No, it's not. It's not anime.
It's not. Okay. I was just checking.
I can't even remember where the animation studio is from. I think they're from somewhere like Norway, or I don't even think it's in there based. I could be totally wrong though.
All right.
But it is not. It is not anime. That's a nice try though, George. Don't you ever?
That's what when you said animated, I'm like, oh man, is it anime?
I mean, okay. So what is the definition of anime? Maybe. What do we do? We say, oh, it's because it's Japanese.
Cartoons with karate.
Cartoons with karate. Damn, SpongeBob had karate.
All right, anime. SpongeBob anime. Real.
Whatever, George.
I have a last catch up. I have a. This is a real thing. This is a big. We should almost had a press conference about this. A few months ago, I want to say around episode, I don't know, 50 something. Right in like maybe February or March. I can't remember if it was this year, last year. I feel like I've been waiting for this forever. Remember the SPINN coffee maker?
Oh, I do. I do remember
with the two ends, and I was excited. I backed it. I didn't back it. I pre-ordered it, whatever you want to call it. When I first pre-ordered it, they said you're going to get it August 2021.
Oh,
and I'm excited. I didn't spend a lot of money on my current coffee maker for this reason, and I backed this spin. I was excited. I got the app all downloaded. I got everything ready to rock. And then August rolls around and I'm like, hey, where's my spin coffee maker? I send him an email. I shit you not, Greg. They come back. They're like, well, due to supply chain issues and this and that, we should be able to get it to you by the end of winter. And
Game of Thrones.
And I'm like, so, is winter coming? Is winter going? When are we going to get this thing here? And then you were joking. You're like, end of winter could be like March.
Yeah, March 2022.
I'm like, I'm not waiting till March 2022 to get this coffee maker. That's like a year and a half.
I'm just going technically with the seasons, right? Because
I know.
You have October, November, December is considered fall. Winter is January through March. Spring is April through June, and then July, August, September is fall, is summer technically.
So frustrating. So the only credit I will give them, they were really nice when we set up an affiliate link. They were super nice communicating everything else. I just can't believe they can't get this coffee maker off the ground. I don't even think mine is built yet. I don't know what they're doing or why they're doing, but anyway.
It's definitely not. Nothing's built.
They communicated very well. They refunded me my full purchase.
That's good.
So I was really happy about that. And I spent it on camera gear. So there you go.
They had a lot of negative press. I think we did a little bit of discussion, or rather you were kind of sending me links back and forth, and they had a lot of negative press. And I'm glad that they were at least communicative and they refunded your money quickly, because some of what I was reading wasn't that positive at all. So obviously things aren't going right for them. That coffee maker was probably sitting next to my my Ultimate Press that I ordered on what's the stupid site Kickstarter 4 years ago that I'll never get. I'm at the go. That reminds me, I'll have to go jump in that thread again, see what's going on,
and yell at him.
He still has all the money. He's refunded nobody's money. Nobody got any money back.
Great.
He ripped everybody off. Yeah, he got
That's
me for my 75. He got me for my 75.
That's when you know you got a good product.
Yeah. My favorite part was, again, I know this is rehashing old shit, but getting that email. Hey, if you want us to send you your press, just send us $45. What?
Send us more money.
You have to cover shipping, not me. You cover
That's fantastic.
What a piece of shit.
You ready to get up on this coffee, Greg?
Please, George. I've been bathing in this coffee. That's a lie.
This week I went ahead and secured this bag. I know you got next week's bag. And check this out. We're gonna spin over. Boom, coffee cam. I actually got to create a slide for coffee cam. This coffee comes from Nobel Coffee Roasters. Looks like they are a Cup of Excellence winner in 2021 in Mexico. This is a Los Pinos. I think that's a EOE 15 single origin in Mexico. The producer of this coffee is Julia Ortega Carballo.
Oh, that's my homegirl.
It's from the region of, boy, oh boy, look at this. They threw all the letters at this one. Zihue Teletla, Puebla. That's what it says.
That's a house. That's some type of house, right?
No, it says Puebla, like in the notes on here, it's got a comma, Puebla. I don't know if that's a city or what.
Yeah, that's like the town of Zihuatanejo.
Exactly.
Did you hear? You have to get that Zihuatanejo.
Exactly. This is a wash process, and for all those who
you're washed. This podcast is washed.
My game is no joke.
Okay.
The MASLs on this is 1136, and I found I found that to be incredibly precise for all the for all the coffee that we've
Maybe
had.
it's just this. Maybe it's a flat plateau in that farm, right? Like along the side of a mountain, like a rice paddy.
Exactly. If you didn't hear at the beginning of the show, this is episode 77. We've done a lot of different coffees. Each one is a brand new roaster. They did 1,136, not 1,200, not 1,700, not 2,000.
Not like the 11 to 1150 range.
Nope, 1136. So props to the Nobel, props to the Nobel people.
That shows a
getting it
couple
in
of
there.
things, right? That's attention to detail, and maybe they're maybe they're just precise, right? Like everything is going to be we say it like it is.
Yes, yes. The varieties
what
on
it is.
this, Oro Azteca. If you want to pick up this bag, it is $28 for a 12-ounce bag. Tasting notes. Gregor, let me know if you're getting any of this. Magnolia.
Okay, let's hear it. We talking about Magnolia projects?
I hear Magnolia.
I think Judy right away.
Look back that thing.
Chopper style.
It's
Chop,
the
chop.
first.
Oh, that's
It's the first thing I think of when I hear that word.
It is
Brown sugar, grape, lemonade, honey, and juniper.
Wow.
For those who don't know,
the body's kind of like yours, buttery and creamy. That's
Believe
what
it.
the website says.
Believe it.
I get some of this. I'll let you keep rolling, but I get a little bit of that.
So, the juniper, for those that love to drink gin or gin and tonics or gin and juice, whatever you're drinking, juniper is the number one ingredient in gin products.
I shouldn't name one of my kids Juniper.
You should have. Still time.
Should have.
You can knock
Messed
out a
up.
few more. The actual, and now that we got camera on this piece, I will bust out the coffee cam, and you could peep the roast. Oh, that's kind of. Here, let me see if I can. Roast looks pretty good on these, Greg. You probably can't see what the hell I'm doing.
That's okay. I
have no
examined
idea.
the coffee beans earlier today, so I don't really need to.
They
to look
did.
at the palm of your hand.
For those that don't know, the bean here does have some characteristics of an Ethiopian. Pretty solid.
You're sounding a little bit too much like you know what you're talking about.
I know.
There, George.
I know all about it.
Okay.
I know all about it. Not a greasy roast. Not like something that I may have had in the last week. I won't name any names.
Man.
But people getting started. Great roast. Good looking. Right out of the bag. Really, really solid smell. I mean, it's. Just a bold coffee smell flavor. I mean, this is one of those, as soon as I got it out of the box that it came in, like Christy could smell it. She was like 6 feet away. She's like, wow, that smells really good. And all I did was open the box. I didn't even have the bag out yet. So really good stuff here. I did my new process, 30 grams of coffee in the AeroPress. I didn't do it upside down like you had suggested. But
Well,
I
you don't
did
need
let
to
the
if you're using that fellow attachment. You don't need to do an inversion.
yeah, because it won't. That fellow attachment won't let it come through until you apply pressure because it's got that
right.
little
So
rubber
like
piece in it.
that is and we'll talk about that later. Because I ended up getting one, so I need some discussion with you on that.
Ballin'. Right after the brew, and I actually did two. I did two fully independent brews. So I filled up my fellows travel deal, and I did my fellows thing here, so you can see through that liquid. You know what? I got the piney smell back in the coffee. Sometimes I get that, sometimes I don't, but this one had that. That's not a negative thing. It's just for some reason that comes out after the brew. First taste, I swear it doesn't taste like gin. I'm not going to say that, but it's like whatever that tang is, whatever that flavor is in gin, you kind of get a little hit of that. And then kind of a really smooth grape flavor. In the last few coffees, when the coffee is hot, fresh off, I'm getting great flavors, great taste. I mean, it's phenomenal. And I know for so long we would get all those flavors on the cool down. I'm actually enjoying the shit out of it on, is it a Riggs break?
Doesn't matter. Without fail, every single time. He's barking for no freaking reason right now.
Riggs, I don't have a slide for you.
Too. I mean, yeah, we should have a Riggs cam.
We should have a Riggs cam
over here.
We'll put a GoPro on his collar. Taste awesome. I'm on the cool down now. Still getting that juniper grape. It actually amplifies quite a bit on the cool down, which is not, it's not a negative. It's just you get more flavor punch on the cool down, and really good.
Absolutely. If I have to, I'm going to jump in here. It's actually a pretty short review because I think it's a really to the point brew in terms of what that flavor profile is. I'm getting, I don't know if it's grape for me. It definitely, there's a fruit flavor in there, but I couldn't identify it as grape. I'm not really feeling a sweetness from it, but something is balancing out the acidity that's in here, because there's an acidity that's coming through from a definite punch of lemon that I'm getting. And I think the pine, the juniper is very, very present. And I actually really like it. That doesn't turn me off at all. It doesn't take away from the coffee flavor. I think it's really interesting. And I mean, yeah, the pine is abundant from the minute you open the bag while you're brewing, while you're drinking. I guess maybe that pininess reminds me of, being in the woods, drinking coffee when you're cold.
So you got it too?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, okay. It's great.
And
I think it's the first time you ever got that piney smell or taste.
Yeah. And I was worried. I wasn't worried, but I think I told you before we did this one, I was like, man, I'm really interested in what that juniper is going to be like.
Right.
I don't know if I would identify a blind test that I would be like, oh yeah, it's juniper. But it's definitely, there's definitely characteristics of pine needles, that smell. It's there. So, and I mean, I know a juniper is a pine, variant or whatever the hell you want to call that type of tree. But I'm not sure my brain would go, oh yeah, it's juniper. You know what I'm saying?
That's my favorite. What is that, Tanqueray?
Oh
well,
man!
Here's what's great.
It's different, and I think it kind of I think it broke up some of the when you buy coffee, unless you're really dialing in on these experimental or these fermented flavors a lot, you can get put into a lull. So you have a couple of tiers, right? You have like Folgers, then you have like Starbucks and Coffee Bean and whatever the hell else is going on in the commercial industry. And then you start getting into roasters that care about how the beans are roasted, right? And flavor profiles. And there's a safe route in there that kind of hangs out in the baseline. And that's, the old milk chocolate, balanced, etc. And I think that this is in the zone of an Ethiopian, meaning that it's got a flavor differentiator that makes it not just like a regular coffee. And with it not tasting like a regular coffee, I think that it what am I trying to say here? I think it just it's like, oh, that's refreshing, that's nice, that's different. There's not again, like I said, the acidity in here isn't off-putting at all. I think it's actually very welcome with whatever these flavors are that are working in here. So I put this up there at a higher level than just a regular baseline coffee, or kind of what that standard independent roaster.
I wouldn't put this in one of those. You know how sometimes we review these and we're like, this is a good daily coffee. I'm not saying this isn't a good daily coffee, but this would be a nice switch up.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's different.
If you're used to your regular brew that's got a strong, bold flavor, switching to this a couple days a week would really change up the flavor, palate cleanser, if you will.
Okay.
For coffee. So I think that fits the mold here. Cool note, when I ordered the coffee, it had one of those things in there where it says, drop us a note or whatever, any other kind of details. And I said, hey, we're going to be drinking this on the Just the Drip podcast. I got an email back after the order confirming my order, and and I think it was, I put her name down here. Maya Johnson said she looks forward to listening to the podcast. So she's going to enjoy that burp and this review of the podcast. So I was pretty excited there. One of the notes that they wrote back in that Maya wrote back is, we are thrilled to introduce this cup of excellence winning coffee, number 15 out of hundreds of coffees in our lineup. Not only is this coffee certified organic, but it is grown in the Finca Los Pinos. That is the Los Pinos farm, for those that don't hablo.
We finna Los Pinos.
Yeah, that Finca is farm in Spanish. I'm trilingual. The first,
trying very hard to be lingual, yes.
This is the first certified carbon neutral farm in Mexico. I'm going to need to do more research on that, what carbon neutral means. I'm assuming that whatever elements they use to farm, that they're producing enough natural goods to offset what they've done to the environment. I think I would need someone to. I'm gonna need somebody to come in and tell us more about carbon neutraling. Proof that the environmental responsibility and sustainable farming can produce some pretty awesome coffees while providing a healthy ecological environment for future generations.
You know what? I like that, and I did burp in the middle of your, your repetition of there.
I got a button. I got a button over there. Boop. I got burp. I got a burp. Burp beep.
We've tried our best to kind of get the responsible coffees. I think it's difficult. We've talked about this. I don't know what episode that was, but we did kind of talk about this at length, and certifications and what some companies say. What are they really doing? Who knows? But we do every now and then discuss the market and fair market price value and what these farmers get paid and the people that work at farms get paid. It's a slippery slope. It's tricky business. Obviously the biggest producers out there, the big box brands, they definitely are not paying a lot of these fair market prices and these wages because they're controlling the market. So that's another reason just to support your small independent roasters. Your coffee costs more because it actually costs more.
Damn right. If you want to get you some Noble coffee, her email, you can obviously go to noblecoffeeroasting.com. Going through the website. It's a great website. They did a really good job on here.
They made that green work on this website, and I'm going to say
that
much.
And boy, that is not an easy color to work with.
It's kind of a army pea green, I guess, maybe. But yeah, they did a good job. I like the site. It's to the point. I'm on it right now, George.
Yeah, I kind of want to hit this. They've got this Noble tonic.
I saw that. Should we order some?
I might have to go back and order some of this and figure out what's going on with it. Because is it tonic and does it have the quinine in it? Is it like tonic water? Or are they using tonic like it's a mixture of things?
That's a great question, George. Let's see here. The secret of Noble Tonic comes from its main ingredient, the fruit of the coffee plant. So it's a what's that called? The
Cascara.
Cascara. Thank you. This
Coffee.
tasty fruit is one of nature's most antioxidant rich foods, as well as being naturally caffeinated. We harness the power and flavor of this beautiful fruit, then add lemon and agave for a little zing and a touch of sweetness. It doesn't say anything about made with coffee, fruit, lemon, and agave, sparkling, refreshing, and light. It doesn't say exactly what's in it. So, who knows? Maybe we ask Maya.
Yeah, we're gonna have to give Maya a call. I'm not asking for anything for free. For those that don't know, I would definitely
we don't do that.
What I would do is I would order it. I would give some to Gregor, and then we might talk about it in a recap of another show. But we're not going to review. I mean, maybe we could review their tonic, but pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff here. I did notice, and this is the same address in her email. I'm referring to it because on the screen right now, Gregor can't see. I've actually got the website pulled up. And him and I are talking heads on here. But you can give them a shout at their headquarters, Noble Coffee Roasting, 281 4th Street, Ashland, Oregon, 97520. They are open daily from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Where's Ashland at? That's in the
great
Portland
question.
area, right? Oh, I
I
thought
have
maybe you
no
would know.
idea.
I mean, that's your neck of the woods, bro.
I know. I don't know. It's crazy because if you go through our 77 episodes, how many of those do you think, how many of those coffees are from Oregon? Roasters, not coffees.
At least 15%, probably 20.
I would agree with that. 100.
It is. Oh, Ashland is way down south, so it looks like it's about 30 minutes from the California border.
Oh, like Bend, Oregon, or
30,
Boring,
45
Oregon?
minutes. No, it's not. It's further south than Bend. It's like
Grants Pass.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like it's about 15 minutes, maybe half an hour from Grants Pass and half an hour from the.
I've been through
maybe
there.
15
We talked.
minutes. Interesting.
We talked
you,
a little
you used
bit.
to drive all the time up to Oregon, didn't you?
I did, but I only go that way, up to 5
in the summer
because you got to come in the summer because you got to come through. I think it's Shasta.
Nope, I'm not going through anything that sounds like soda. Some bullshit.
Well, I made the mistake and drove through it when it was wintertime, and it got a little scary. Snow got a little deep. Once you get on the I-5, though, everything's done up. I remember they got me. I was coming up through Northern Cali, crossed over the border. Now, Northern California, I think you can go 75 miles an hour on the freeway. As soon as you cross into Oregon, they don't play that 75. They play like 55.
55? Oh, my God.
I got pulled over by an 82 Dodge green, 82 Dodge. It's like the green for this website.
Was it like a national parks and forest cop?
It had a single light on top of the car that was spinning around.
Like a cop drama.
Sure enough, man, they got me. And he's like, you know how fast you were going? I said, yeah, 78, because it's 75. And he's like, no, it's 55. You crossed over the border a while back. And I'm like, oh, come on, dude.
Yeah. Did you put a giant billboard up that said what the speed limit was? No.
They saw those Nevada plates. He's like, I'm getting them.
He's got money.
He rented a Toyota Sierra. He's got it.
This guy lives in a hotel. He spends 150 a night. He's got money.
So, design, like we said, design of the website was nice. The bag is good. I love the way they're doing these two-tone greens. This kind of lighter lime green is nice here. If we're switching
the
cams,
side panels, those are nice.
The side panels are.
Is somebody camping out? Are they sleeping in a tent right there on the side panel?
I don't know. That is a tent for those that want to take a look there. We got. I don't know. And they sent. I gave Gregor a couple of these. They sent some stickers, which that one's pretty cool here. That one of these might have to go on the laptop.
Leave a comment down below, and we'll send you these stickers.
For real? You send them Greg's? Well, maybe I'll send you one of these here.
I felt like that's something you have to say when you're on YouTube. Leave a comment, and you got a point down below.
Like and subscribe and all that great stuff. Good design.
Don't do that.
I like the vector art, the way they did the lion, and everything there. Do they have to give a shout out to Chemex?
It looks like they do. That lion's beard looks kind of like your beard.
Chicks dig it. That's a Chemex on top of that lion's head. I'm wondering if they don't have to throw Chemex some cash.
Nah. They didn't like write Chemex on it. It's just kind of got a shape. It might be a Chemex knockoff. You see them on Amazon.
When I see bags like this, when I see websites like that, I automatically think that these guys are doing big things in coffee.
Of course.
Because it is not cheap to produce. I mean, and this is a resealable bag for those that have listened to other episodes. Thank you for using resealable bags. One of the last bags we got, once you cut the top, you gotta cinch it down.
I have a gripe. I went to open mine today, and the little tab you pull.
Yeah.
Tab broke straight off.
Did you do it on? You can do it on the other side. The other side has a tab too.
So then I pulled the tab on the other side. It broke straight off. I was like,
seriously?
So yeah, I had to cut the bag open. So I saw it.
Terrible.
I go, oh, we got a resealable bag. This is nice. Nah, it came and got me. That's okay. Mine was 1 out of 1,000. Don't blame
You could have cut right above the resealable part.
Yeah, listen, George. I was already 17 minutes late to getting things going. I just took a knife and just gouged it, and there we are.
Terrible.
I kept the bag though. I like the bag.
Good. Shout out to Maya Johnson. Really appreciate
that's
your
how you
email back.
say Maya? You gotta
Maya?
relax.
I think it was Maya.
I think it's just Maya.
Maya? Well, she's going to leave a comment after she watches this.
Mariah?
No, there's no R's.
I know. I felt like I heard ODB again. Mariah,
Wow.
you're on fire. Come
on. Yeah. So it works out.
George,
I like it.
George, look.
Yeah.
We spent too long on Nobel. I appreciate you, Nobel, but we got to move on. You ready for some news?
I'm ready for some news.
Good, because you're the only person that contributed.
And we don't have it yet, but we are going to do some really cool transition into the news segment. We just don't have it yet.
No, hold on. I'm going to look into the camera and talk. I'm talking. See, I don't like this looking at the camera thing.
Yeah?
I've seen you attempting it. I'm trying to look at it. It just isn't working for me.
Well, what it does is it eliminates your good side, so it frustrates you.
It does. Do you put like a smiley face like right above the camera so you know to look at that?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't. No, when you're a movie star and you spent years and years around the camera, someone like you should know.
I mean, yeah, you are talking about my career right now, George.
Yeah. Believe it. One of us on this podcast is a movie star. One is not.
I'm going to look at your IMDb right now, George.
This guy. I was on one episode of The Club. It was a show about Vegas and Ice nightclub a long time ago. I had a 2-second cameo on the show. My phone rang like crazy. They wanted to redo a couple of wilderness shows. What's the guy with the bear?
Yeah, Bear Grylls.
Was the guy, he had a pet bear?
Oh.
Grizzly Adams? Yeah, they wanted to do a remake of Grizzly Adams. They gave me a call. They're like, wow, your beard's amazing. We want to make friends with a bear.
They wanted to do a mockumentary of Kenny Rogers Roasters.
Oh, dude.
Best chicken ever in a fast food joint. Sorry, Popeyes and all y'all. Kenny Rogers Roasters was on point. All that. That was on point.
I don't know about all
what's
that.
What was your favorite fast food chicken, George?
Popeyes.
Yeah.
Hands down, Popeyes. The greatest. KFC, terrible. I think they use dirty grease.
Popeyes was awesome like in the 80s. I don't know what happened to it.
It is still amazing right now.
What about where's Church's rank?
No. Low. Very low.
Lower than KFC?
Yes.
Wow.
And I won't eat KFC. It's disgusting.
Yeah, you white. You real white.
That's fine. Irish.
Church's is above KFC. That's true. That's very true.
Popeyes is the greatest fast food chicken in the world. You're welcome. You're welcome, Popeyes. Stop if you want to sponsor the podcast, just email us. I would wish that just
George, are you getting the notes of fried chicken and barbecue sauce in this?
This episode brought to you by Popeye's Chicken.
Oh, that's 100% Mississippi fried chicken right there.
Well, if we could get into the news, Gregor, this first
I'm
one.
I'm trying, George. You're the one talking about fried chicken.
This first one coming at you. Coffee and tea consumption linked to lower stroke and dementia risk.
Look at me.
If you're an avid listener of this show, I feel like we have news about this every 2 episodes. Coffee linked to awesome blank blank disease. And if you're looking at this here, drinking coffee, tea, or both may be associated with a significantly lower risk of stroke and dementia, according to research published yesterday in the peer-reviewed journal PLOS Medicine. I don't know where journal PLOS is, but researchers from Tianjin Medical University in Tianjin, China, discovered the association after observing more than 365,000 participants. That's a lot of people. And I think
that's 1,000 people per day in a year.
They recruited for this study all 365,000 people between 2006 and 2010, and they observed these people until 2020. That is a long
Ages
study.
between the ages of 50 and 74. Wow. So
Oh,
they
yeah.
did. That's a long term. Yeah.
That's a pretty legit study. Like I would like to know who's
Yeah.
funding this because
It wasn't like
that seems like
50
it would cost
people.
a fortune.
It
Right.
does.
Right. We didn't go to a local college and survey a bunch of college kids for
You get a
a
free t-shirt.
semester.
Sign up here, get a t-shirt
I
and a
know.
credit card.
And according to the study, of those 365,000, 5,000, roughly 5,000 participants developed dementia, and 10,000 developed a stroke. With people who reported regular consumption of coffee or tea experienced lower incidence of both. So I don't know if they did like a 50-50.
Yeah, what's the benchmark then? If 5,000 developed dementia and 10,000 developed stroke, what? What
Like they
would
had
the
a
norm
stroke.
be?
I don't know.
Yeah, so is the norm would be in that age range would be 10,000 people get dementia and 20,000 would have a stroke?
I don't know.
I don't like
that
that.
part I don't know. But here's the thing: for those out there, if you're listening to this podcast, it means you love coffee. According to the researchers, people who drank 2 to 3 cups of coffee per day, or 3 to 5 cups of tea, that's disgusting, fared better than non-coffee or tea drinkers. I'm good. I'm good for probably 2 cups a day.
Could you
I
imagine
will-
drinking 5 cups of tea?
No. I feel
Just
like
drink
tea's-
water.
I feel like tea dehydrates you, in my opinion. I don't know that. Maybe that's true. Maybe not. I just don't.
My opinion is tea, depending on what kind, but usually it's going to give like a dry mouth feel when you drink it.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
So, but I'm good. I'm good for 1 to 2 cups in the morning, and then almost every day after lunch, I'll have like a cup of black coffee.
Mm.
So I like that. I like that quite a bit.
Be like you when I grow up.
Well, you know.
What's up with the
next
Carhartt?
up-
The Carhartt sweatshirt today.
I wore it because I know how much you love it.
Can't be having these brand names all on the thing.
If you want to sponsor Just a Drip, go ahead and drop us a line at sponsorships at justadrip.com.
Support indie, okay?
Support the podcast.
Support independent businesses, not
What is-
corporations.
What is that shirt?
Adventure with a CH. Simple Bits. Dan Cedarholm, simplebits.com. He's a graphic designer. Puts out a little bit of merch now and then. But let's
That's
move on with the
incredible.
news. It
That's
is incredible, actually.
For those avid fans, all 9 million listeners of you that tune into the podcast, there's a liqueur out there, a Spanish liqueur named Licor LICOR 43.
Wait, say
those-
that one more time?
Liquor 43.
Okay.
If you're on the site right now, Gregor, for those that are watching at home. So this coffee, those that watched last year, we did Mr. Black's coffee liqueur. I think we did a cold fashion because Mr. Black's was a cold brew. I had seen a video. Somebody did a cocktail. Greg and I jumped on live, did a live performance for the gram.
We might have to do another one. Might have to do another one this Christmas.
And that's why I brought this up here. This won best coffee cocktail of the year, and for the life of me, I cannot figure out the taste profile of this Liqueur 43. I was on their website. I mean, they had a promo video of this liquor on the website, and it just kind of showed people having fun and pouring and drinking on the rocks. No mention of the flavor notes in the coffee or in the actual liqueur.
This is odd.
In the Liqueur 43. So you can.
Do you think liqueur means liquor or is it short for licorice?
I think it's a flavored because people are drinking this on the rocks. I think it's a flavored liqueur, like a mixing.
Oh, here. So I'm
Like a
on their
mixing
website
drink.
and I'm on the page. It is coffee and liqueur 43, and it says the liqueur side is floral, citric, botanic, and sweet. Is it a gin? Like,
I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know where it falls other than it's a liqueur like a Grand Marnier or something like that. You could drink Grand Marnier straight.
you can. You just got to be ready for a sugary rush.
Right.
It's a little too thick for me.
So that's what she said. But this coffee that won this barista challenge, I should be able to find the name of this thing here, but it's all the ingredients are here. You can go check it out. There'll be a link in the show notes down below. But give it a try. This is definitely contender for our. We don't really call it a drunk episode because we're not going to get drunk off of one drink. But you and I did a quick show on this, little live show last year. So we'll probably do. I'm assuming another one this year for a show.
Yeah,
but this is a good one to try.
Why not?
Good one to try here. World's first lab-grown coffee offers sustainable future solution. I brought this up
How much
because
is this going to cost?
Imagine a world where MASLs aren't a factor.
In a world.
I need to get that voice translating thing where I push a button and gives me the really deep movie voice.
Welcome to a world where coffee podcasts rule.
Using cell cultures to grow agricultural products is fast gaining momentum in the food industry. Already cultured meat is being developed. If that's that pink meat, doesn't McDonald's use the pink meat?
Like
or
an
whatever?
Impossible Burger?
Something like that, I think. I've
No,
seen that pink.
Different. This is different. This is the one where they're cloning the cells of animals. It's not fake meat. It's real meat, but they're cloning it. So they're growing beef.
God, that sounds delicious.
Can I get a grass-fed culture, please?
Protein has been produced by microbes, and now a cup of coffee has been brewed from lab-grown coffee cultures. Goes on and on about a series of tests they've been doing with research. The VTT Technical Research Center in Finland. Those Finlanders, always up to something. In the past, researchers had extracted individual compounds of certain purposes, but before our study, no one had really looked into overall composition of coffee cell cultures. You know what? I'm going to need these people to send Just the Drip some of their coffee cultures so that we can brew a cup. We'll be the judge if you can taste the difference between some of this bomb Nobel coffee or some clone culture that was grown in a lab.
Are we talking about coffee culture vultures?
Ooh, coffee cultural appropriation.
Look, you have a note here that really means everything to me. Fake MASLs, like what are we talking about? 320 MASLs right now for growing this in a California lab. What are we talking about?
Exactly.
No, if my MASLs ain't over, at least 1K, obviously I can't mess with it.
Please, that's a given. You ain't growing. You can't grow coffee at sea level. I don't want to.
What if it's
I don't
in
want to
Florida,
taste it
below sea level in some points, like negative 20 MASLs?
Don't hit me with a negative 20 MASLs.
Okay, so enough of my bad jokes. I would be interested in what this tastes like. I think my concern is, obviously this is going to be a median, right? Or it's going to be like, this is going to make your McDonald's coffee or Starbucks coffee. It's going to, the flavor profile is not going to be varied. It's not going to stand out. I think you're going to get a generic coffee out of it. And that's fine, in my opinion, because most people that drink coffee really kind of just drink bottom barrel. Probably 80% of people that are coffee consumers they don't care.
But honestly, looking at this article, you cannot tell me that your big dog Starbucks coffee bean would stop buying from farmers and build a massive lab like an Amazon.
Let me know the stock ticker name, and I'm on it. You tell me when this launches, right? I'm throwing some Bitcoin on it. When
they drop S Labs, you'll know. Acres and acres and acres.
Why is there not a coffee coin yet?
I don't know. I have no idea.
It seems like there's a coin for everything else. Why not one that works with coffee commodities?
We need to do a drip coin. They probably already have that. Just a drip coin. Don't take it. If you want to start a coin with Just a Drip, email us at give us some money at justadrip.com.
$DRP.
That's selling like hotcakes.
Shit. I'm cashing out my stocks right now, George. I'm retiring.
You got any shout outs, Gregor?
Let me think real quick. No shout outs for anybody. Hey, shout out Utah State. It was nice reuniting with some of the old teammates. George met some of these dudes a couple weeks ago. It's always good to see them. Any other shout outs? I don't know. I went to Disneyland, I think, since the last time we spoke too, George. Shout outs to Disneyland for the world's worst virtual queue system to try to get on some rides now. It's bullshit. It sucks. I'm sure they're doing it to alleviate crowds, but it just jerks you around. You ain't getting on no rides.
Disneyland is the inventor of crowds.
That's a fact.
That place. When you told me they got rid of the Fast Pass, I'm never going back to Disneyland.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The lines weren't as. That's a lie. This was one of the more. I've been times where it felt like the lines were just absolutely unbearable all the way across the board. This kind of had an uneven setting to it. So, because it was, I think it was the weekend before or the weekend of Halloween, right? So like everybody and their mama wanted to go on the Haunted Mansion. The Haunted Mansion line was like an hour 45 minutes. I didn't go on that. I ain't doing that. I think the longest line I waited in was Pirates of the Caribbean for like 25 minutes. If the line is long, I'm not getting in it.
Did you go to Toy Story?
No.
Okay,
I told you I don't like Toy Story.
That's the best ride.
So that's okay. So you would like the new Spider-Man ride because it's basically like that. And
is it like a shooting?
Yep, it's shooting. It's points. It's like there's 4 people in the car thing, and I mean it was cool, but I don't enjoy those shooting ones. Pirates of the Caribbean, like I like it because there's just something about relaxing. Like I could fall asleep on that ride, and that's not saying the ride sucks. It's just it's the cool, misty, smelly water, right? It just kind of cruises along slowly. I like that ride.
Oh, good.
I'm old.
It happens. This is fact. It
happens. I make 38.
I got a shout out. I haven't seen the end product yet, but I've done a lot of testing with this Ecamm software. I'm really hoping this thing nails it. If you hopefully will edit properly and you won't see these cuts. But I'm really happy with the way it looks. We got some cool frames and everything. So shout out to the Ecamm people. If you want to give it to us for free so we can keep using it, feel free to do that too.
We buy coffee, not software.
I would like to give props to the Machine Era pen company for those that
I
are.
Can't believe this is happening.
For those that are good friends. Podcast. They know how much I love pens, and I've been wanting this bad boy for a while. I treated myself to this pen, but I really like the orange cap on this, and they used a phenomenal insert for this pen for writing. So people finna be jelly. I suggest you go out and get one. I wish we had a sponsor.
How many bags of coffee is that pen?
3.
Okay.
It's
a nice pen. It's a nice pen.
It's, you know what? I know how much you use field notes and those writing books. As far as size, if I can give you, I'm not a giant, but that's the size of the pen there. It's a great size pen if you do a lot of writing.
I might check it out. What is that? Machineera.com or what?
We'll put a link in the notes. Let me email them and get an affiliate link first.
Well, sales went up 0.5%.
And that's all I got for this week.
I don't have anything for this week.
Good.
Full disclosure. Woke up this morning, was like, damn, we podcasting today? So I prepared nothing. Failure to prepare, George, is preparing to fail.
Attaboy.
All right, y'all. Glad y'all got to see my face. There'll be more of this beautiful bad boy in future episodes.
See you next week.
If you're lucky.